Today I want to go over the 20 or so items I use as an HVAC, not only an HVAC tech, but an HVAC boiler tech as well. I just recently got my license, and so I am a licensed HVAC boiler tech for a high pressure steam at the hospital that I work at, and we cover several floors, about 6 floors or so of the building. Now, one of the things that I've struggled with, something that's been a little bit hard and that's definitely evolved over the past several years that I've worked at this job, is what multi-tool will I carry on the job consistently. Now, anytime I get a new multi-tool in that I feel like needs a fair amount of testing, I will take it to work. And then like just recently with the Nextool W4, I carried it for a week and I could already tell it's a very heavy carry for me. So I just did not have a desire to do a full year testing on it. It just seemed a little bit too heavy. It's a great tool, but a little bit too heavy. And so I won't always carry it. Some of these tools super long, but at least a week or a month at a time, different times. But I've recently kept going back to the Go multi-tool because it is so light. So it comes in somewhere around 7 ounces. Let's weigh this again right here. And okay, so 7.2 ounces, sort of reverse weighing right there. But it is pretty light. The spring load pliers don't really matter to me. I don't, it doesn't bother me if they are or not. This did definitely have an issue when it first came. It wouldn't even cut wires. I did have to grind some of the metal on the plier handle. I don't know that I would necessarily recommend this to other people. The GOAT, I think the Roxxon is actually a better tool, but I'm just saying that for me, the weight savings is enough that I will overlook the oddities, I guess you could say, of the GOAT tool. It is hard to access the tools quickly. That's one thing I'm not a fan of, especially this bit driver. It needs some better tabs on it for quick grabbing the inner tools. I love how the Flex on the Roxxon has that lever that you can easily access the tools. Maybe eventually I'll go to the Flex. I just felt like this one right here was a little bit tougher than the Flex, but maybe sometime I will try that. That's what I'm looking for. Essentially a bit driver, a knife, a set of scissors, pliers, and then I need some smaller tools and some larger screwdrivers. So large screwdriver, I'm able to access some panels, and then this right here, this came in really handy to access some electrical panels that have those little buttons you have to almost push in with like a ink pen. So this right here works really good for that. So I do like a tool to have a little bit of extra screwdrivers, both minimal, both small and large, for a multi-tool. All right, moving on with a pen, I decided to use this metal pen. I will try to leave a link below. This has, I believe, a brass is what it's made out of. It works great. It doesn't necessarily look great for the moment. I'm just going to use this, beat it up, and we'll see how long I use it. I may have to give it another coat of spray paint, or who knows, but for the moment, that's what I'm using. So for the Casio, I am using the AE1200WH series. This one right here, you can tell, unfortunately, just has the standard case, the plastic case, and it has really worn off. Unfortunately, these come in plastic. I wish Casio had made these in metal. And then I actually am using the knockoff Leatherman tread, and I have added different gadgets like a pen right here in the links, because you can store bits in the links. So I've added a Leatherman bit pen right there. So I do have some extra screwdrivers on hand if I would need them on this watch bracelet. It works for me. Yes, it's a little bit heavy. You definitely need to be careful around electricity and stuff. Again, I'm an HVAC tech, not an electrician, so I'm allowed to wear some of these bracelets. We don't have we do have moving belts, but anytime we're working on machinery, most of the time the belts for the motors have to be turned off. So I don't think it's a huge risk to wear a watch. So this comes in pretty handy. So this is what I carry in my pouch. I have really tried to cut down what I carry because I ended up carrying just way too much. But the one thing that has stayed with me consistently is this ratchet head. I really like to have a ratchet head for when I'm undoing bolts like on a motor and so forth. Comes in very, very handy. So I have this ratchet head that fits into my goat bit driver. Then I have this 4-inch wrench, this one right here. I think this is maybe this might almost be a Harbor Freight version, or I don't even know the brand name, but it's a 4-inch adjustable wrench. I found it very, very handy. The best option today for an adjustable wrench. I prefer a standalone wrench. A multi-tool that has a wrench, it just usually becomes too bulky for me. I do carry the Knipex XS, the extra small pliers. These right here, these are the ones with the jaw. There are ones that are almost like an adjustable wrench. I did think I may try those out in the future, but for now, these do come in handy if I need to use my multi-tool and then extra set of pliers on the other side. I really like these. Now this measuring tape right here, I just recently needed to measure an exhaust fan so that we could get the exact replacement one, and this came in really handy. A guy at work actually used these. These are just from like the Walmart sewing department, and they're extremely light, and also you get a really good length on these as well. So I actually find these handier than using a small measuring tape. They're larger. You know, on this small measuring tape, you get that little tiny measuring tape a lot of times. The tape itself is pretty small, where this is pretty legible, and then it's very light, and then you can put it in this pouch, and it works out pretty good. This pouch right here is a generic pouch, but similar to the SOG pouch. This comes in very light. And then the last thing is I do a lot of times use a Surge copy clone multi-tool, and these are left over from that. And then, yeah, I think I have the couple files and a saw in here. I'll probably keep that for the moment. I might eventually go back to a Leatherman Surge clone style or something with a T-shank holder. But even standalone, I like having a small file to use if I need it, so I'll probably keep this with the pouch. So that finally brings us to the last pouch that I carry on my belt. This is probably one of the more important ones. Now, recently I've transitioned to carrying not a full size, but a 10-inch pipe wrench from Crescent. And the reason is I was able to find this extremely lightweight, only 1.3 pounds. At work, a lot of guys cannot believe how lightweight this is, and this saves the day all the time. Yes, we have a full-size rolling tool cart that we can take around with us, but there are a lot of times where we don't take a tool cart and we go out to try to complete a work order, and maybe something is leaking, and this comes in to save the day all the time. Really, really great. Is it heavy on the belt? Absolutely. At just over 1 pound, it's a little bit heavy, but I feel like it's worth it for the moment. Maybe eventually I'll give it up. I know a lot of people at work almost make fun of me a little bit for being so prepared, but yeah, it's great. Now, what I use is actually this old Greenlee electrical pouch. This comes with 3 pouches, and then I've actually cut out the bottom of it. This was for a pair of pliers, I think. I've cut out the bottom so that the Crescent wrench actually slides right in here, and then it's got this nice belt loop that I can carry it on my belt. And it's actually a lot thinner, a lot lighter, and a lot less obtrusive than you might think. Now on this side, one time we needed a marker, a permanent marker to mark stuff, and I didn't have it, so I actually ended up getting this titanium case for your permanent marker on AliExpress. I really like it. It's a little bit heavy, probably a lot of overkill, but I have been carrying this right here. And then I've actually settled on the Woobin E7 for my main light. It has a magnet. It seems like it's pretty tough, and yeah, it's been durable for me. Now in the past, I've mentioned some moans about some Woobins that I've dropped on concrete floor from a ladder, and they died on me, which probably several other flashlights would. But so far, the X7 I have dropped. I just dropped in a pool of water on the floor the other day, and it's been pretty tough. I can't complain. Yes, Woobin sent this to me. I've already done a review, but this is actually something I use every day at work. Then this right here is one of the beauties of my kit, because this is the Klein nut driver set where you've got the double-sided nut drivers. You got 5/16, 1/4 inch. Then on this side, 3/8, 7/16. Then on this side, 1/2 and 9/16. And that's where the ratchet comes in. So I will actually use the ratchet, attach it to my goat tool if I need some extra leverage. And then these sizes usually fit the bolts that I run into at work. So it works really good. And then I just attach this by the Velcro, sort of reverse, and then this all hangs off my belt. Yes, it's heavy, but it has saved me so many times. Now, the last bit of kit that does get used is actually this bit holder from my wallet. This is a wallet bit holder for your Leatherman bits. I got this off of eBay, and I really like it. So I have an extra Leatherman pen right here that I can use in case my pen that I have, I displace or lose it or runs out of ink. And then I have different sizes of bits that are helpful to use. And this is the lightest bit carry option that I have found, and I love it. It is amazing. I probably need to change some of my bits. I need to add maybe some more Torx bits in here, but yeah, it's very, very handy, and it comes in so handy when you need a bit. No one else has one. They're trying to run across a parking lot and go into a room where their card is, and you can just pull out your bit card and start working on the machinery. Really, really good to have on hand. So all these things work together to make my work HVAC EDC. And so far, this is the best setup I have found to date. I keep trying to refine it and make it lighter, but at the moment, I guess I've actually made it heavier with this pipe wrench, but again, it's only a pound it's adding. So I do try to make it better, and this is where I'm at today. Let me know if you're in the HVAC field or an electrician or a carpenter, what's your loadout for the day? I'd be interested in reading your comments.